Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Okay, let's try this in the second take. So the first part is just an introduction to today's lesson, and I will post it in the guide section. The introduction to today's lesson, the recap of the last 2 weeks of the things that we went over, and now we're moving into decluttering and what we have to do in order to declutter our lives to make room for the magic that we're going to start calling in. And we talked about how to make room for magic, decluttering our life is important, and in what ways we need to start identifying what needs to be decluttered. And we talked about how becoming aware was the first key to that. And then we started to say that we have to make room for it by decluttering. We have to cleanse our inner thoughts. We have to cleanse our outer energy, and the ways in which to do that, and then what we're going to do in order to begin that process. And so it's making room by becoming aware of the things in our lives that need to change, the stuff that's not serving us, the things that are taking up space, that are no longer necessary. This is taking an inventory, and we're going to do that. We're going to begin to take an inventory, and we're going to decide what people we shouldn't be spending our time with, who to partner with in order to grow, who to spend our time with. Cleansing our inner thoughts, the inner narrative. We talk about this all the time, identifying which voices cause us to feel fear and which ones create doubt in ourselves, and turning down the negative voices and turning up the positive ones, and resetting our moods and our energy with positive voices and positive beliefs, and working on rewriting the negative beliefs. But just being aware of it is really enough for most people to at least get some momentum going here. And then we have to think about our outer energy. And our outer energy is creating boundaries with the people that seem to drain us of our energy, and it's identifying who we let into our lives and what kind of effect they've had on us. And it's making room for positive people. It's putting restrictions and boundaries on the people who may not be the best influence on us. And so the homework for this part, the soul work I like to call it, is to identify the messy areas in our lives and reflect on what the mess is causing us. What is it costing you in missed opportunities? Where are you distracted because things are messy? Where are you distracted and you're missing opportunities because you don't believe in yourself or because you have doubts? What stories are we telling ourselves that need to go, that need to be rewritten? So reflecting on what it's costing us and missed opportunities, asking ourselves, what could we do? What could we do? What could be possible if we decluttered these areas in our lives? And then creating a checklist, and to take about 15 to 30 minutes to sit down and check one item off the list each day. So where do we need to be cleaning up? Identifying these areas, and the main areas of life we talked about in the first lesson. You can go back to the first lesson, soul work. There's a list of those areas of your life. And if you had done the first soul work lesson was to take each area of your life, those main areas, and to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being madness and chaos and 10 being magical, and then looking to see what areas of life need work. And then you're going to take each area of that life and you're going to move into this decluttering phase where we are making room for magical moments. And we can't have magical moments when there's no room, when there's physical and mental clutter, where we're not creating space for joy and inspiration. And so we're going to be letting go of negativity and focusing on the positivity and gratitude so that we can attract more magical moments into our lives. And so this part is, the decluttering part is to create a list of the things that you can do. The things that you can do to make room for magic in your life. Becoming aware and awake, taking an inventory, and partnering with the right people. are the the three top things. We want to cleanse our thoughts and our inner energy and our outer energy. And then the second part of this piece is we're going to talk about the 5 steps to unlocking magic. And so we spoke about removing the clutter that robs us of experiencing the magic that we can be experiencing. And so each one of these lessons builds on the next one. In life, when there's clutter, it stops us from being able to see things for what they really are. It gets in between us and being able to see an illusion. It's a veil. The messy things, they distract us. And so let's move past that. Let's make sure that we do that decluttering, that we sit down and we do that journaling. We're going to complete an inventory of what areas of our life need decluttering. And then we're going to come up with a plan on how we're going to do it. And then the next lesson is sitting down and really thinking, how does magic happen? Do you create magic? Do you go out and find magic? No. Magic comes to us. It happens for us. We find it. Love, peace, joy, grace, giving, receiving compassion. Almost all of these things in life are discovered. The magic in life is discovered. It's not something that you go out and locate. It's something that you step into blindly, sort of, right? And so we can prepare for it, but we never know when the miracles are going to happen, right? They happen for us and through us. They don't happen to us. The magic, though. See, say you're living in the madness and in the messy and even in the mundane. We don't have ourselves in that space of discovery. We're too focused on the chaos, or we're too focused on the mess, or we're too distracted by the mess, or we're living in the mundane and we're bored out of our minds. And we feel like drones, and we don't feel as if we are choosing. We feel like we're living our life on autopilot. That is not the mindset nor the place we need to be in order to begin to discover the magic that is already all around us. It is the same way in which we attract synchronicities. And we start to notice the magic that's all around us all the time when we learn how to quiet the mind and to really connect with the higher self. And this is very much the same way, learning how to become available for magic. And so living in this discovery zone, if you will, where we have steps that will lead us into a mentality that attracts synchronicities, that attracts miracles, and that will help us cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity in our daily lives. And so things in life that are genuinely magical are not necessarily things that we do. They are things that happen to us. Well, we think it's to us, but it's for us and through us. And so the 5 steps to unlocking the magic in your everyday life are, number 1, believe. We talk about beliefs, right? Learn how to believe in your thoughts and in your words and in your actions in a way that you could really get behind them. So that's questioning what we believe, and it's asking ourselves, is this even true? And it's starting to rewrite those beliefs that aren't true and starting to add new thoughts that we're going to repeat so they become beliefs. And so some of this is rewriting old beliefs, and some of it is adding affirmations, and they will become beliefs once we repeat them over and over again. And they don't have to be far-fetched. We can work on that. The second part is to expect miracles. learning how to create an environment where magic can happen. And we're going to get into all of this in detail throughout this challenge. This is just an introduction to these concepts. The third one is to receive. This is learning how to embrace the power of being celebrated, receiving presents, receiving gifts, receiving compliments, receiving miracles and synchronicities, receiving the good things that come to us in life. So often we block the good things. We block ourselves from being able to receive anything new, being able to receive anything. And we're kind of programmed in that way. That, we're too self-centered, or we're too focused on ourselves, or we're too conceited, or we're too, we're not humble enough. It's not even true. None of that's true. None of that's true at all. It doesn't make you self-centered to be able to celebrate yourself. In fact, if you don't celebrate yourself, who's going to? Does anyone? No one else knows how hard it is to be you, how difficult your days are, or how hard you work to achieve the things that you achieve in your life. You have to celebrate yourself and open yourself up to receive the magic in life. Number 4 is become. We have to become the person that has a magical life. We have to become the person who makes the decisions, that bring the opportunities, that puts themselves in the place, in the time, in the position to be receiving the magic that is coming. And so aligning yourself with the magic in every area of your life is going to be one of the most exciting things that we're going to do in this challenge. And the 5th one is to release. To be releasing all of the things that no longer serve us, and to release any identities that don't align with the magic that we're trying to bring into our lives, to call into our lives, to create in our lives. It's not something we do, it's something we allow. And we can only allow if we are able to release all that which does not serve, including identities, including the identity of being the person that you think maybe isn't worthy of. Or maybe you believe that you are this person who's not educated enough. Or maybe you believe you're this person who is too inexperienced. Or maybe you believe you're this person who doesn't really know what they're doing, and how can they call in what they want for themselves when they don't know the next couple steps, when they can't see the whole tape, when they can't play the whole tape through yet. When you don't know what's coming, you're not sure what it's going to look like yet. We have to learn how to let go of that, being able to see the next couple steps ahead. We walk this path in faith. This is a path that we walk in faith. We are not going to know the next steps. We're only going to have the next immediate step. We can only put one foot in front of the other. And so we have to learn how to have faith in ourselves and faith in universal law. Having faith that if we continue to take the next right step, then good things will happen and good things will come. And that in and of itself is a big, big part in creating and calling in magic into your life. And so while encountering our self-doubt and our fear, the things that we're intimidated by, when we are told that we need to do work on ourselves, we get intimidated. We think, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not motivated to do it, and I'm frustrated because now I have to make changes, or, I'm not sure how to. We have to learn how to let go of that. We have to learn how to let go of that and learn that we can pause, and that we have to, we get to decide how we respond to the changes that happen in our lives. We get to decide how we respond to the things that happen to us. And I can tell you myself, the things that have asked me to change in life, some of them have been incredibly, incredibly difficult to go through. Some of them appeared as the worst things that ever happened to me. But they were really just They were situations that built because I didn't get the point. And so here's the thing. If the universe wants you to move, we're always moving in a constant state of expansion, and we can only stay stagnant for so long. And so you keep getting these little pushes, these little shoves that things need to change. Things are changing around you, and you have to change with them. And the more we refuse to change, the harder the lessons become. Because eventually, the universe will move you out of what's no longer serving you into a new paradigm. And if you don't choose to do it, it will be done for you. Well, that's what happened to me when I got arrested, and I thought it was the end of the world, right? And I had to go to rehab, and I had to get my shit together, and I thought everything was ending. I thought it was the end of the world. And guess what? It was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't be who I am or where I am now. I probably wouldn't even be alive right now. And so, if we want to bring the magic faster, we have to allow these changes to come about quicker and easier. We don't want to wait until the universe moves us. We want to help move things along, right? And so we need to be on board for changing, for creating change, for being open to opportunities to grow, for doing things a little differently. You don't get something different with the same actions and thoughts. We have to start beginning to think about how we're changing our actions and our thoughts. And so the second part of this assignment is a challenge to journal for 5 to 10 minutes about what it would mean to you to really rediscover magic in your life. Like that magic that you believed in when you were a little kid. That magic that you believe in deep down. And you know you do, or you wouldn't be here. And so what would that mean to you? To be able to live a life of magic. To be able to, and I'm not saying that there won't be things that happen that are hard to go through, or that there won't be challenges, or that life will just be perfect, because that's nonsense. We know that. There's always going to be challenges in life. There's always going to be little humps and bumps to get over. There's going to be things that we struggle with. There's going to be always another reason to look ourselves in the face in the mirror and ask ourselves, where can I grow? Or how am I exacerbating this situation? How am I causing my own suffering? There's always going to be room for growth. But where can you really say it would make a difference in your life if you lived a more magical existence on a daily basis? If you lived in that realm of discovery where you're always on the verge of discovering a new kind of experience, a new kind of miracle, bringing miracles in, synchronicities, things like this. What would that do for you if you knew you were always living in that discovery zone, if you're always on the verge of another miracle, of another amazing thing happening, even when things get hard? What would that mean to you? How would that change your life? So if you can sit down and you can write down what it would mean to be able to live in that discovery zone, in that area where you're on the precipice of something great and you're just waiting for the next miracle to happen, or the next synchronicity to give you a clue, or the next amazing thing to happen in your life. What would that mean to you? And so really having a why, or a reason why do we want to live a magical life? How will it benefit us to create these conditions so that we can live in magic? And so that's the second part, is to sit down and journal what it would mean to us, so that we have our why. We have our why. The reasons why it's important to us, the reasons why it would be beneficial to us to take these steps. And we're going to talk more in depth after the new year about belief, expectations, being in a receptive mode, how to become, or how to switch identity, how to change your identity, how to let go of an old identity and step into a new one, and how to release the things that no longer serve us, how to release any of the blockages that are in our way that's stopping us from receiving or stopping us from accepting or seeing opportunities for ourselves. And so in the new year, we're going to work on all of these things. And so in the meantime, over the next couple weeks, while we're on a little break and you guys are enjoying your holidays, just think about it. In what areas of my life is there madness? In what areas of my life is there messiness? In what areas of my life is it boring and mundane and typical? And where can I use some magic? And then what areas of my life are already magical? And then deciding which areas need the most focus, right? And then stepping into decluttering. Decluttering all the things that are in the way in your mind that are stopping you from thinking what you need to think, the beliefs that are stopping you from doing the thing, the people who are holding you back, the circumstances and the situations that are not in your highest good, the things that are in the way, the clutter that's causing confusion and stopping you from being clear. So that's what we want to do in this exercise. So this week we're going to work on decluttering. We're going to create ourselves a plan. We're going to identify what's causing fear. We're going to identify where the doubt is. We're going to turn down the volume of the negative and turn up the volume of the positive. We're going to work on our inner thoughts, our outer energy, the people we spend our time with, the creating boundaries, making more time for people who have good energy and who motivate us, and identifying the messy areas in our life. What is it causing us? What is it costing us to stay in this messy, in this chaos, in this mundane life? And then creating a decluttering checklist, the things that we need to get rid of, the boundaries we need to work on, the people that we need to spend less time with, the people we need to spend more time with, the thoughts we need to continue to think, the ones that we need to stop repeating and believing in. And then for the second part, which will be the week after Christmas, the week of Christmas, so the day after, the 26th, 27th, I won't be doing a live that week, but what we will work on, if you are following along with this in that week, will be asking yourself, how can I move into this discovery zone where I'm ready for the next miracle to happen at any point? And what are the things that I can do in order to unlock the magic? And so it's not necessarily things that we do. We don't necessarily do things to cause magic to happen. We basically free up ourselves. We free up our beliefs. We open our minds, our words, and our actions. We open up to receive it. It's whether or not we expect it. Are we expecting miracles and magic? We get a lot of what we expect. There's a huge piece there. The receiving, are we being open and receptive to receive? Do we believe it can happen? And do we think we're worthy? Are we worthy of this? What would happen? What could happen? What miracles could happen? How would that benefit us? Can we embrace the gifts that are the opportunities that show up in our lives? Can we embrace the love and attention from friends and family? And then how do we become the person who lives a magical life, right? How do we step into the identity of the person who makes the right choices to set themselves up for success? Who is that person, and how could you be more of that? How could you bring more of that into your life? How could you align yourself with that? And then being able to release everything that's not that, including your doubts, including your own self-doubts. And so in the week after Christmas, take some time to journal for a little bit on the reasons why you think, the reasons why this could be worth it. We're going to do this work together. These 5 steps, this working on our beliefs, our expectations, our being in the receptive mode. We're going to work on becoming and shifting identities. We're going to work on release. But the second piece of this is to sit down and write out your reasons why it's worth it. Why is it worth it? What would the magic do for you if you could just allow all of the magic and potential that's available to you at all times? What will it do for your life? What will it do for you? What will it do for the people around you? What will it do for the people that you love? What will it do for the people that you can then share your wealth and your abundance with? Or you can share your soul gifts with, because now you don't have to worry about getting paid for your time. Or all of the beautiful and wonderful things that you can create with this clarity and this being in the place to receive synchronicities and magic and miracles. What would that do for you? And how would it be worth it to take these next big 5 steps over the next couple weeks into the new year? What's your motivation for doing the work necessary to manifest the life that you want to manifest it, and to live in magic, and to not live in a mundane and boring existence, to not live a messy life, to not thrive on chaos? What are the benefits? And the clearer you get on the benefits, and the clearer of a vision, of a picture you see of yourself benefiting from living in this intuitive state of flow, and this discovery zone where you're on the precipice of another miracle happening, of another opportunity showing up, of another synchronicity showing you the way. How is that worth it, and how will it change your life? Because that's going to be your motivation to move forward in the new year, when we come back to this the Thursday after New Year's, and we will begin on working on beliefs. I hope you all have a magical Yule, a magical winter solstice, a magical Christmas, and a happy New Year. And I will see you all again Thursday after New Year's. I believe it is the 4th. I think it's the 4th, but yeah, Thursday after New Year's. I'll be back with the next live. In the meantime, please write comments, ask questions in the comments, ask questions underneath the posts. If you need anything at all, I'm usually available on Messenger, so don't hesitate to reach out. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me for this, and I'll see you next year. Lots of love and happiness throughout the holidays to you and your families.